From the outside, the Ripa Consuelos family seems untouchable. Every morning, Live with Kelly and Mark opens with laughter, chemistry, and the image of a perfect marriage. But behind the cameras, Kelly Ripa has admitted a truth that fans never expected. One that left her son, Michael, quietly struggling to find his own space amid fame, family, and daily television life. It wasn't scandal. It wasn't a fight aired for the world to see. It was something far more subtle and far more devastating. A year that shifted everything. When Mark Consuelos became Kelly's permanent co-host, daytime television celebrated the real-life couple's chemistry. Fans adored the seamless partnership. But at home, life was quietly changing. Kelly revealed on her podcast, Let's Talk Off Camera, that working side by side blurred the lines between professional life and family life. For Michael, this subtle shift had consequences. Conversations about the show followed them home, private jokes spilled into living rooms, and the boundary between work and home began to feel invisible. What looks effortless on TV, Kelly explained, can be complicated behind the scenes. It took time for all of us to adjust. Michael's quiet struggle. Michael Consuelos has always avoided the spotlight. Unlike his famous parents, he wanted to build his own identity, away from cameras, away from the public gaze. But as Mark's role expanded on Live, Michael began to feel the pressure. The family home, once a sanctuary, started to feel like an extension of the studio. Privacy was fleeting. Independence felt impossible. This wasn't teenage rebellion. It wasn't resentment. It was self-preservation. Kelly acknowledged the heartbreaking reality. Her son needed space to grow into adulthood, even if that meant stepping back from the family dynamic he had always known. Public reaction. Relatable honesty. When clips of Kelly's podcast went viral, audiences were stunned, not by gossip, but by the emotional truth. Parents related instantly, commenting on the difficulty of allowing grown children to find independence. Young adults empathized with Michael's need for boundaries. "This is exactly how it feels," one fan wrote. "I wish more parents talked like this." Kelly's admission reminded viewers that love doesn't always mean closeness. Sometimes it means stepping back and letting your children find their own path, even when it hurts. Not a rift, a recalibration. Sources close to the family stressed that there was no explosive drama. Michael wasn't angry, he wasn't distant out of spite. He was simply taking the space he needed to navigate his own life while growing up in the shadow of fame. Kelly explained that the adjustment was painful, but necessary. "It's hard, but it's also essential. We love him enough to let him grow." This quiet honesty struck a chord. Across social media, parents and young adults alike praised Kelly's courage in sharing a story that's both relatable and rare among celebrity families. The bigger picture: fame, family, and boundaries. This story isn't about privilege, it's about boundaries. When parents' careers are constantly in the public eye, children can feel invisible, or worse, defined by their parents' image. Michael's journey highlights the emotional labor required to carve out identity in a world dominated by fame. Kelly's transparency reframed the narrative. Her family isn't just a brand. They're a household still learning to coexist as adults, navigating love, independence, and personal growth. A quiet lesson in love and letting go. 1 year into Live with Kelly and Mark, the show thrives. But off-camera, Kelly has made it clear that family growth is ongoing. Michael didn't reject his parents. He redefined his place in the family, carving out independence while maintaining love. And in sharing this reality, Kelly offered more than a behind-the-scenes glimpse of celebrity life. She offered reassurance that even the most famous families face struggles, learn lessons, and find balance the hard way.
We're figuring it out, just like everyone else, she said softly. Final thought. In a media world obsessed with sensationalism, this story stands out for its restraint and for its emotional depth. No public meltdowns, no ultimatums, just a mother acknowledging a universal truth. Loving your children sometimes means stepping back. And in that quiet, heartfelt honesty, Kelly Ripa may have told one of the most relatable stories of her career, a story that lives far beyond the studio lights.